I've previously done videos on the best deaths of the Joker, links to which are in this video's description. But I like doing these videos so much, and there are just so many Joker deaths in media, that I've decided to do 5 more. Now, the Joker himself needs no introduction, so we'll just jump straight in. The Red Wedding. There is a condition known as battered wife syndrome. It's when a spouse is beaten and abused for so long that they eventually just snap, and then they calmly kill the person who's been abusing them. And this is what happens in Harley Quinn's ending in the game Injustice: Gods Among Us, when Harley decides that she has finally had enough of the Joker.
She traveled to the Visitor's Earth and freed the Joker from prison. Returning to her world, they married in a ceremony that set Gotham ablaze. At the reception, the cake-cutting ceremony took a gruesome turn. As her new husband playfully mashed her face into the cake, years of abuse took its toll. Something in Harley snapped. She used the ceremonial knife to slash Joker's throat. Still wearing her wedding gown, Harley now resides permanently in Arkham Asylum.
Now this is actually one of the best Joker deaths that there's ever been, because it finally shows him getting what he deserves for abusing Harley Quinn. I mean, yes, he has killed and hurt a lot of people, but most of these are just arbitrary strangers who we don't really know anything about. Not all of them admittedly, some we do, but most of them we've no idea who they are. However, with Harley Quinn, the reader can really form an emotional connection with her, as we've seen so much of her story, and we've seen her being abused for years. So we can really sympathise with her plight, and the fact that she just can't get away from the Joker, because she doesn't want to, as she genuinely thinks she's in love with him. So it's very satisfying to see her finally realise that she deserves better, and stand up for herself. And this is actually one of the few times in media that Harley actually gets some justice, or at least some revenge on the Joker, as most of the time Joker's character has to stay alive and free. After all, he is a cash cow of DC, so the Joker doesn't really get punished, or at least not punished enough for what he's done. But in this case, he finally got what he deserved. The Jester. In the film Justice League: Crisis on Two Earths, there is an alternate universe in which the Joker is a hero. And this is because the good guys are bad in this universe and the bad guys are good. Though in this universe the Joker is actually called the Jester. And the film starts with Luthor and the Jester stealing the technology they need to travel to other universes. The only problem is that the security on the place they're robbing is just too good, and so the two of them can't escape. So the Jester has no choice but to sacrifice his own life to hold off the bad guys and give Luthor time to escape.
This one'll kill you.
It won't be in vain, old friend.
And he also managed to take out this universe's Martian Manhunter, who is of course a bad guy in this universe and one of the bigger crime bosses. So he did a double deed with his death. And it's refreshing to see a Joker death where he actually gives his life to save people and save the world. Because pretty much all the time he dies, he's doing something insanely evil and people are just trying to stop him. And the Jester really did save the world here, because if Luthor hadn't got to the alternate universe, then the evil Justice League would have ruled forever. But thanks to the Jester, the good version of the Justice League is able to travel to their universe and liberate the Jester's world. And I feel that his sacrifice is actually kind of overlooked in this film, because it's right at the beginning and it's very quick, so people move on to other moments. But him actually sacrificing his life is very important, because none of what followed could have happened without him dying. So this Joker actually died saving his own world. Gotham. Now, I know some of you will be saying that this is not the Joker, but in truth, we all know that Jerome was the Joker. And the only reason that he was never called the Joker in the show is because the studio explicitly said they couldn't use the name because they were trying to save the Joker's character for the movies. But let's face it, we all know he's just a different version of the Joker's character. I mean, he's exactly the same, just with a bit of a different origin, so they could tell a slightly different story. So I'm counting him as a Joker. And he actually dies twice in this show. The first time he is betrayed by an ally. You see, he was broken out of Arkham Asylum to cause mayhem in Gotham City so that Theo Galavan could stop him and look like a hero. And Jerome decided to go along with Galavan's plan just for kicks. But then Galavan decides to stab him in the neck and kill him.
Not what we rehearsed. I'm so sorry, Jerome.
After all, Theo Galavan wanted to look like a hero, and killing him is a much more effective way of achieving this than just rescuing the hostages while the Joker escapes. And the thing I love most about this death is that, for once, it's the Joker who is betrayed and surprise killed, whereas normally it's the Joker who's doing the surprise murdering. And of course, no one watching this show saw it coming, because Jerome Joker was a fan favourite character, and we never thought the show would get rid of him. But of course, they didn't, because this is the DC universe, so even though Joker is dead, he's just brought back to life, in a Frankenstein-like experiment. Though when he wakes up, he finds that his face has been cut off by a Joker disciple who's tried to pretend to be him. But the Joker goes after him, gets his face back and staples it back onto his head, and tries to make the most of it. Of course, this doesn't last for long, and he does die again. Later on, he abducts a group of Gotham's rich and elite, and holds them hostage at a concert with bombs around their necks. Jim Gordon of course rescues them, and then he chases the Jerome Joker up onto a roof. He shoots him, and then he falls backwards off of the roof. And he actually manages to cling to a pipe, and Gordon tries to pull him up to save him. But he doesn't care if he dies, as his legacy of lunacy will live on. And so he decides to fall to his death instead, laughing like a maniac all the while, in true Joker fashion. And both of these deaths are truly beautiful. I mean, the first one isn't exactly in the Joker style, but it is also quite good because it's not the Joker style, it's something different and unexpected. But the second one is pure Joker. I mean, sacrificing himself because he just doesn't care if he dies, because he knows he's famous enough that his legacy will live on. Well, that's pretty much who the Joker is. And him laughing like this as he falls is just how the Joker would choose to end it. And though he did die twice on the show, the Joker does still live on, as he Joker gassed his twin brother with a special version of the gas that sent him permanently insane, and so his twin brother takes over the position of Gotham's Clown Prince of Crime, and he then went on to terrorise Gotham for years. Joker gassed. In the show, Batman the Brave and the Bold, the Joker falls to his death, and with his nemesis gone, Batman ultimately decides it's time to retire, and so he passes the mantle of Batman on to Dick Grayson.
The mantle of Batman was passed, and justice endured. Batman endured.
Now, years later, after Bruce Wayne has married Catwoman and had a son with her named Damian Wayne, the Joker's son attacks the Batman Museum and kills Bruce and Selina Wayne. Batman later confronts him, only to discover that the Joker didn't actually die all those years ago, but has just been in hiding, though no one knows how he survived the fall.
Oh, who cares? I've been blown up, dropped down smokestacks, fed to sharks. I'm the Joker! I always survive!
But the Joker is now dying due to overexposure to chemicals, namely his Joker gas, and he decides to take Gotham down with him in one final hurrah, and he is going to Joker gas everyone in Gotham City. Now, Batman and Robin are able to stop him, of course, but the gas was coming out of a Batman statue, and when it was destroyed, the head falls down, and it just misses hitting the Joker, but then a cannon of Joker gas is released straight into the Joker's face and the whole of his body, and it seems that this is too much for his chemical-addled brain, and so he dies from the gas. And the best thing about this death is that the Joker kills himself with the very Joker gas that he was going to destroy Gotham City with, which does give it a certain sense of poetic justice. Now, there are some who say that he didn't actually die here, and it is possible, but considering he is extremely old and crippled and is dying from overexposure to chemicals, well, this insane overdose would almost certainly have finished him off. Heck, it's enough Joker gas that it might actually kill a healthy person. But if he didn't die right in this second, then he would have died shortly after, because he only had 6 months to live anyway, and this Joker gas would have speeded up that timetable considerably. But personally, I think he died right then and there. MK11. In the Mortal Kombat games, once a player has beaten the opponent, they earn the chance to finish the opponent in an overly violent way, by killing them in a unique little cutscene of gore. And since the Joker has been added as a DLC character on the game Mortal Kombat 11, the Joker can now be killed in a unique fatality by every single playable character in the game. And I decided to put these deaths in this video because they just look so awesome. And from a purely visual point of view, they might actually be the best deaths of the Joker that we have ever seen. True, there's no real story or emotional connection to his end, I know, which is a little disappointing, but this game gives us the most graphic and detailed demises of the Jester of Genocide that we have ever seen. So graphic, in fact, that I'm actually having to censor them a bit in this video, just to stop YouTube from age restricting this video. And that's all that needs to be said on this, because the quality and the violence of these deaths speaks for itself. And I've tried to pick the best ones to play here, but of course I don't have time to show all of them. In fact, if you actually put them back to back, it goes on for about 20 minutes. But they are all on YouTube if you do want to watch them properly.
Sonya Blade calling in air support.
And that is the 5 best deaths of the Joker, part 3. Well, technically it's 6 deaths since he died twice in Gotham, but I won't tell anyone if you don't. And I'd personally say that out of these, the Mortal Kombat 11 deaths are the best, at least from a visual point of view. But in terms of story, I definitely enjoyed the Harley Quinn killing the Joker one the most. But what do you think of this list? And which one of these deaths is your personal favourite? Be sure to let us know in the comments, and I'm also thinking of doing a list of every time that the Joker has died in the comics. So if that's something that you'd like to see, then again, please let me know in the comments. I'd just like to say a quick thank you to those who made this video possible by donating to the Needle Mouse Productions page on Patreon. And as always, thanks for watching, and feel free to subscribe, share, like, and comment.